Hello, world. This is Talkin Live, and what do we have going on today? Okay, guys, we just heard that Trump shares details and call with Putin announces to steps in effort to end the war in Ukraine. Also, I seen where that Ukraine was complaining about not getting help. So I think we have already given them more help than they deserve. And we got American citizens among 3 detainees released from Belgium. So we got that going on, and we're having all this commotion about why are we trying to cut down on spending. Well, the purpose is you can't bring in $1 million and spend $10 million. That's the way it works. To some of you don't know that. I mean, if you ever had a business, you would know that. Or if you work at a job and you make $500 a week and you owe $1,000 a week, it don't work out for you. Well, that's what's going on with America. The only difference is there being fraud, just waste, just purely waste and fraud, and all the things that they could do to get a kickback is kickback for dictators and all these different leaders. And I mean, if you go to another country and you look at their problems, then you could bankrupt another country because the whole world has problems. The whole world has hunger. The whole world has all this stuff that's going on, diseases and everything. And as I do the shows, I think that, being on the side of the poor people is the way I want to be. Now, I hear about the middle class. Okay, well, I think, the middle class should be able to make money and live to their standards. But I also think that we should bring up the poor every once in a while and say, look how they're getting along. Let's see how they're getting along. See if we can help them to better themselves. That's the way I look at it. I mean, there's people out there that's poor, that's got the greatest idea, that can make money and make a difference. But if they have no start, they have no help, how are they going to get there? I mean, let's face it. And I got Indian friends from India. They can go and they can borrow money. They can build hotels all over the place. They can buy convenience stores. They can do all this with our money. They don't pay. They change the ownerships every 5 years, keep from paying taxes. Well, this is a fact. And it's great that they come to this country and make money and be an American people. But see, this is, I was at FedEx and there's an Indian guy, and I'm not racist. Everybody knows I'm not racist. If you don't know it, you'd have to watch me and listen to me, and you'll find out I'm not racist. But American people don't have the opportunity that some people do that come to this country. I'm talking about legal people. And they get loans easier. They get to be able to build hotels and all this, and And it's not just them, it's other race peoples that come to this country. And it's not racist to talk about the facts. See, the Democrat would call this racist, but it's not racist. Or maybe you would call this racist. It's not racist, just a fact about how that poor people are treated. Now, we have a lot of poor people that don't have no vision, don't have no desire to make no money, don't have no desire to grow, in a business, or they want to stay in the same old situation they've always been in. When I was 15 years old, I was recycling nylon yarn, and I was doing it too. It was orange colors, and it was orange colors, and white colors, all different colors. And I would get paid, and I was taking it for the carpet mills. The carpet mills back in those days, they used to dump it on a big mountain. They had a mountain of waste carpet that they just dumped. And I used to go up to that dump, and I'd buy. Well, I didn't buy it. I'd get it, and they'd let me have it, and I'd take it home, clean it out, to clean the yarn out and the burl out. And I did that to profit something, to make money, because I didn't want to stay broke all the time. I've always come up with some idea to make money. I've always thought about making money. I don't want to be to the point that I just make that my God. It's just that my ideas come to me. Nah, that's the way I am. And everybody, it's like the story Jesus told about, I'm talking to you poor people too, and rich people, whoever. It's about what Jesus did. He gave these, I'm going to use him as an example, because without him you can't do nothing anyway. But he gives these people a talent. He gives 1 talent to one person. He gives 5 talents to another. He gives 10 talents to another. And he told them to go out there and gain talents. Now, this is the story in the Bible. Jesus said it. So it's true. It has no way it's out in any other way. It's true. So they come back to him with 10 talents. I've gained so many talents. And then another come back, 5 talents. I've gained 2 talents and all this. Okay, and the one that had 1 talent, he went out and buried it. He buried his talent. He didn't try to make it grow. He didn't plant it at the ground as a seed. He planted it in the ground to hide it. And so when this husband come back to him, this is the story Jesus told. When the husband come back to him, he said, "Oh, you didn't gain no talents." "No, I hid it in the ground." And so people today have a lot of talents that they're wasting. That's my point today. You have a lot of talents, and you can make something out of yourself, but you won't. You want to depend on the government, or you want to depend on somebody else. You want to live off somebody else's gain instead of trying to make it on your own. A lot of people do that. I'm talking about a lot of people, families, waiting on their relatives to die, waiting on an inheritance, waiting on to win the lottery. Waiting on to win the lottery. That's the hardest thing that anybody ever done, is win the lottery. It's just an accident that happens, I think, when somebody buys a ticket. I don't think it's nothing to do with luck. I think it's just an accident that happened. Well, so what I'm saying is, all this money has been wasted, could have been given to people that would like to get ahead in life. That's my point. But it's been stolen. It's been bad management. It's been taking advantage of the the tax dollar been taken advantage of, the Social Security, the FEMA, all the things that we have, all the programs that we have has been taken advantage of by fraud or something other. The old saying, fat cat got to be fatter. I mean, and these people that are rich, they have used their head. They took their talent. They took that 5 talent and gained 10. But what I'm getting at, if America is so been ripped off so much, and we continue to let it happen, there won't be an America. And I can't understand why you Democrats or Republicans, either one, would complain about catching all the fraud and doing away with all the dishonesty in our government. And, they just found some more, evidence or paperwork on the assassination of John Kennedy. They had it all hid somewhere. They already knew. Our government knows all this stuff. And they talk about privacy, but they know all about us. You talk about TikTok and all that. Our government knows all about us, and most of the world knows all about us, too. A lot of countries think everybody in America is rich. But there's so many poor people, homeless people in this country, even more now than ever. Because it's been robbed and taken away from them. You take a man that's he's living in a tent on the side of the road, or he's a veteran or whatever. He's never got that help that he deserves to make something or do something. He might have the greatest idea in the world, but somebody comes from overseas, gets the money, and he goes and sleeps on the street. All those people on the street are not dope addicts, or not all scum of the earth. They're human beings. The poor people is the ones that made the rich man rich. It's the arrogance in the fields of picking the tomatoes and all this stuff. And a lot of American people won't work. They won't do that kind of work. They won't pick cotton. They won't do none of that. I used to pick cotton. I know what it's like. Man, you pull a whole ball. They call it a ball with a cotton in it, and then you put it in a bag, and then you give it to them. You fill up the bag, and then you go pick up another bag, and then they put it in a machine that separates the cotton from the clothes. And I've done that, and I've caught chickens. I've dug ditches. I've done all that kind of stuff. I've done asphalt. I've done tree work. I've done all this stuff. And I didn't want to be broke all the time. The reason I done that, I had me something else I wanted to do to make a living and to give what I could to my children. Of course, I wasn't nothing but a drunkard, but I still worked and tried to supply what I needed to my children and to be able to have something extra. But see, American people has got to the point they don't want nothing extra, but that's give to them. The only thing you've got give to you is your soul, and you own it. You're never going to own your house because of taxes. You're going to pay taxes on your house, but you can get ahead if you work hard enough. If you won't give up, every time you get knocked down, you get back up. I always did. And of course, you got to have God's blessings to be able to get anywhere too. I mean, the Bible said it rains on the just and unjust. So if you try hard enough, you can get back up. And I know there's so many on the streets right now. There's veterans, there's people that used to have a great job and make good money, and they got knocked down. They ain't got the will to get back up. But and when I say all this, saying all this, I can say this. If Elon Musk, if our government would stop our waste, quit supporting the world, then we could live a better life in this country. Us that draws 1,000, 2,000 a month Social Security could be drawing 5,000, 6,000. Now, we had a guy on here, Jose, and he was talking about that. And I looked at that. And he was right. The one's drawing 2,000 or 3,000. There's my ex-wife. She draws off of me. She draws $900 a month. She don't have no house. She don't have nothing. And she wouldn't have nothing but for me. But what I'm getting at, she should be drawing more. She can't live on $900 a month. You can't pay a house payment, buy groceries, pay the light bill, water bill, phone bill. And, cable bill extra. And you know why? Because of our government. That's why. No rich people. There ain't no rich people. The poor people would have a job. But when for the poor people, the rich people wouldn't be rich. So many generations have started out with nothing and became wealthy. An idea. But see, a man works a regular job, has a great, there's a man invented a little heater. He was a poor man. He invented a little heater, go on the tractor trailer trucks, windows, mirrors to keep the frost off. I mean, there's so many people. And I'm talking about black people, white people, all different races have come up and, poor. They're poor. And they come up with great ideas, but nobody will help them. They'll help somebody overseas before they will here. We got brilliant people in this country, and then we got the dumbest people. I told someone the other day, it seems the older you get, the stupider you get. I look at these old people, these middle-aged people protesting because they don't care nothing about those people overseas. That's just a front. If it did, they'd follow the money. They'd follow it. I'm glad that Elon Musk is in charge. I think he's a tightwad. I really do. But I also think he knows what he's doing. And I don't understand people that are so full of hate for one man. They want to starve themselves to death because they hate that man. They don't want it to work. They'd rather be in the gutter than to let someone put a stop to something that will benefit them in the future because they hate a person that way. I can't grasp it. I didn't like mostly everything that Joe Biden done. He's because of the waste. Some of the Republicans too, not just him, but he's the biggest waster we ever had in the White House. And Jimmy Carter's dead and gone, but he gave away the Panama Canal. But you can't blame it all on Jimmy Carter because the Congress and the Senate had to approve all that. See, it don't always go back to the person in charge. It goes a lot of times to the people that surround them. But the one in charge is supposed to take hold and take charge and do what's best for the country. It wasn't best for the country to give the canal away. That's about the dumbest thing I ever seen. Well, I live in one house, and I just give my other house away because I got two houses. That would make sense, would it? I spend millions of dollars to put up a building, and because they are sold by somebody over in another country, I should give it to them. If you build something, you share it maybe, but you don't give it away. If you spend a lot of money for the canal like they did building a canal, need you turn around and give it to somebody, turn around and deal with your enemies, and charge you for using your own canal. I mean, that's like your bathroom. You go in your bathroom, you have to pay extra to use it. But it's your bathroom. I mean, that's the way our government works. We'll build it, spend the taxpayers' money, and you can have it. This war in Ukraine is a bunch of crap. That both sides, Putin and Ukraine, both of them. Putin should never enter Ukraine. But I mean, Ukraine is designated with most people today that know about it is crooked. Putin is crooked. They're all crooked in them countries. They're crooked here too. You notice how Elon Musk found all this waste, and you're mad about it. You know you're mad about it. I don't care who you are, if you're Democrat, Independent, or Republican. If you're getting a kickback, you need to be caught, and you need to be brought out to light. The cover needs to come off of you, and the world needs to know what you are. You don't pull my cover off, I'll tell you about me. You don't have to pull it. I'll throw it off and tell you. I don't try to hide nothing. But that's what needs to be done. And you people are getting up there complaining. You're complaining about $10 million or $20 million or $10 billion about a country that's not getting the money to try to twist around nature, change nature, change a man to a woman. You're sick. You're perverted. You're sick. There's something wrong with your head. And I tell you what it is. You are a devil against the truth. That's what you are. We need to stop the drugs coming in here. I don't think we ever stop drugs because there's too big of a demand for it. That same person I was talking about, that's poor, they can't get off of it because they living in this world that they think is never going to end. I'm going to tell you something. I've been high drunk. I never was high one time on cocaine. And that's I mean, it's all stupid, but alcohol was bad. But high on drugs, man, I hated that. I was down in Jamaica one time, and I was in the Dominican. I smoked some pot down there. I couldn't even come down. Lord God, I never wanted any more of that crap. I'm open with who I am, what I am, what I used to be. I don't smoke pot now. I never liked it that much anyway. Makes you lazy. Makes you want to eat all the time. Don't care about tomorrow. That's the way it always done me. Didn't want to work. Didn't want to go to work. I know how it makes you feel. So, it's like a cigarette. Somebody tried to tell me how hard it is to quit. I know it is. So the stuff I tasted, don't tell me about how it is. But I've done it. Cigarettes is a drug that takes control of you, and you can't beat it. Some people finally get the courage up to quit, but it's a temptation that comes along all the time. And when God takes it away from you, you don't even think about it no more. You might get a little tempted once in a while, but when he takes it away, it don't come back that you let it. And when God gives, you get serious with God, he'll take the drugs away from you. He'll take Jesus Christ, will take it all away from you. And you can see clearly. You can see what life's all about. But as long as we're on drugs and we're blinded to the fact of the truth, then we'll never, ever get anywhere in life. We'll never accomplish nothing in life. If we live in this old world thinking it's the only world that we'll ever be in, but it ain't. There's an end come to everything. And that little joy, that little high, that little great feeling will go away and you pass away and you'll never have it again. If you're not ready to go, you'll go to hell and you'll burn forever. That's the way it is. I don't know why these preachers keep trying to tell these people lie. There's two roads, one to heaven, one to hell. And that includes you too, politicians. I don't care who you are, both sides, all sides. Do your job and reap the blessings of it by doing what you're supposed to do. And reap the blessings of the good things you do for your fellow man. And give to those that have need, and make sure that they're getting it and they're not taking it and wasting it. But anyway, I appreciate all of you that's tuned in. May God bless you.
The views and opinions expressed on all Talkin Live presentations are those of the host and their guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Talkin Live TV broadcast studio, or by this channel or its management.